The number one pattern I'm seeing across majority of the indices right now, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is setting, we're getting ready for a nice move up. I'm going to teach you about the basing pattern that's setting up right now, what it actually means to the markets, so you can actually look for this with your own personal trading in the markets. That's what I want to share with you. Guys, make sure you have access to that free trading course. See that link in the description? Click on that. You'll be able to check out the free trading course and what you can get for free. Anyway, let's actually start off with the markets here. I also want to get to the S&P, to the metals and also the miners as well too. Miners have been really, really, really strong as well too. So, looking at the Dow Jones here, one of the really most important things, traders, is we want to see where a lot of traders, when they're trading the markets, okay, I'm seeing them making a lot of mistakes and they're causing a lot of confusion, right? And one of the reasons why they're causing a lot of confusion is, as you can see, this is my weekly chart here of the Dow Jones. It's a blank background, it's candlesticks, and it's one moving average. And what happens is we start to overlay things, and I saw this with one of my coaching clients just recently. One of my coaching clients a while ago, I just recently found out, I've given him a really successful system, and I teach you for that. I teach him my system in that trading course. But I have a really successful system. But what happens is that he's taken the system and then he's overlaying all these other indicators. And guess what? Now he's not doing really well. He's creating a lot of confusion. And so this is where I think a lot of traders make the mistake, is they overlay that when they create a lot of confusion in the markets. So the purpose of me doing this video for you, my outcome for this video, is to share with you the simple things that keep you on track of doing the right things for you, right? And the number one thing I do say is that if we have the higher time frame, most people forget that. A lot of people are looking at, say, the daily charts, the short-term analysis. You know, they're not really looking at the big picture. And what is the big picture? The big picture is the weekly charts. And I'm telling you right now, traders, one of the big things that's going to really help you with your trading is that if we have a chart, all right, and you know the whole story about going with the markets, right? A lot of people, if you're a reversal trading, you know you're going to be doing, you're going to get right over, just like you have every single time you try to pick a top. But if you have a look at this here, if we have a really good trend in place and we have an overall flow to the upside, what a big flow to the upside is what I call the moving average, right? This moving average here, right, is what I call the flow. Let me see, can I? All right, I'm trying to bring up. There we go. Okay, cool. So we can see the market, right? Market's make a low, high, low, high, low, high, low, and another high, low, right? So the market's making these high lows up. So we know the overall trend is up. And we don't want to be putting our ego involved with the markets, right? So that's there. If we have that and we have the flow going up, meaning the moving average is still really strong trending on the upside, not only do we have the market stepping up, but we have the flow going up. When the market stops stepping up, and if we're going to look at the moving average, when the moving average starts to flatten out, see how it flattens out here? That's when we tend to get what? Topping patterns. Does this in the Dow Jones, does here look anything like here? No. Firstly, we're getting low, higher low, and then higher lows all the way up. Over here, what were we getting? Low, higher low, same low, slight lower low. See how we're now making the same lows there. So the lows were the same, and the moving average actually started flattening out. See the flattening out period through there? That tells you we're slowing down. The reason why this is so important to you is I just gave you two things that are so simple. But if we can just bring back the simple analysis, remember there's a 50-50 chance. Start to overlay some sort of trend analysis, which is the lows and the highs, stepping up. You've increased your success rate to probably 60-65%. Then now we're going to look at the moving average for the overall flow, and then now if you're going to look, if you have that, now you've increased your chances of maybe 70% of having a success rate. right? And then we can start to look at, actually getting in after the pullback and a proper setup and so on and so forth. But if you just use that as your foundation, meaning whenever we are getting a strong upward environment and the moving average, the overall flow is going up, go with the flow, right? That's like you being a surfer, seeing a really big wave building up. You try to jump onto it, but you go the other direction. Just go with it. Let the wave take you. Let it take you, okay? Jump on and let the wave take you, all right? So I may even title that video. So the reason why I'm saying this here, guys, is I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to bring this back down to some simple analysis for you guys, so you can start to put the odds on your side even more. When I first started trading, I thought it had to be complicated. I thought I had to have, a lot of a lot, right? And then when you start to bring it, it's like, hang on a minute. There's a reason why I wasn't doing well, right? So my whole purpose of this video is just to help you out with that. So that's the first thing I do say through there. And this is the Dow Jones here, right? So, and the same for the Nasdaq as well too. What's happening with the weekly chart Nasdaq? Same sort of thing, right? Remember I said before, as long as we keep making these lows and higher lows and higher lows and higher lows and higher lows, right? And we have this overall flow to the upside. That's it, right? That's it. As long as we keep making that, just go with that, right? You're going to have a much more higher success rate. And remember, it's not about getting it right today. It's about having a successful trading career for the rest of your life, right? That's what I'm trying to teach you here, is not about getting something right. If you get in today and you pick the top, let's just say, for example, you did get into today and you pick a top and when the market goes down. If that happens, well, you got it right. Good job. But then what about every other time you try to trade it and you got it wrong? See what I'm saying there? So just listen to that. And the thing that's happening with the Nasdaq here. Now, the Nasdaq, one of the things that I love about the Nasdaq, and let me bring this chart up here, is I want to talk to you about what I talked about at the start of this video, and that is basing out. Whenever the market starts to go sideways and bases out, if we have a strong overall trend, weekly charts, strong trend, big flow, right? Strong trend, big flow. Strong trend, big flow, let the wave take you, right? Let the momentum take you. Whenever we do get these sideways basing out holding periods, now the market's telling us we're getting ready for what? We're getting ready for another move to the upside. And I'm telling you right now, traders, this is my number one type of trading pattern that I trade, is I'm waiting for this market to base out like it is right now. Right? Look at this here. See how the market just went sideways all through here? And we had another move up. Look at it all through here, right? We slowly went down, but we're sort of just going sort of sideways, sort of slow down, and away we go. Look what's happening through here. We are just going sideways. And we're holding here. Why is this important? Because if this was some sort of topping pattern in the markets, what would happen? We would at least start to see some strong selling in the markets, right? And we'd start to see that, especially, again, that's the reason why we need to keep an eye on the big picture. Big picture, weekly charts, keep an eye on that and just go with that. I promise you, you're going to have a much better win-loss ratio, and it's going to really, really help you, okay? And that's what I want to share with you there. So, and then we go to, say, the S&P 500. S&P 500, same analysis, right? High lows all the way up. Moving average, strong flow. Go with it. Because look this way, every single time. Do you know right here? Look at this here. You know that point right there? That was the 10% drop last year. You know what was happening with the markets? The top's in, the top's in, the top's in. Here we go, right? And I'm like, no, the top's not in. Why? Because at that point in time, there was a low and there was a higher low. All this was doing is come back down and create another higher low, and then away we go again, right? And while everyone was getting sucked in by the news and the media, just a few simple things. And then I saw the flow of the moving average was still very strong to the upside. Here I'm like, so the market's still stepping up. It's just having a pullback to create the higher low. We're getting a flow to the upside. We're probably going to hold here and probably going to rally back up to all-time new highs. And then boom, here we go again. And guess what's happening right now? The market hasn't been doing anything for quite some time. So now people are coming out and say, oh, the top's in, top's in. No, Stop trying to pick tops, okay? If you are trying to pick tops, you do realize tops only happen around maybe 20% of the time, 10% of the time. That means you're wrong at least 80% of the time. Why not flip it on its head and say, okay, let's just go with the market. Wherever the market is, let's go with it. And then when we start to get warning signs, like the higher lows start to be broken, the moving average start to flatten out on the big weekly charts, then we can start to go with that, right? Just go with that, I promise you guys. And the reason why I'm saying this, guys, because the idea is we want to get into a trade to make a big profit, right? Well, even if you did try to trade against this here, where was the biggest profits? Was it here? No, it was there. It was there. It was there. It's what's coming soon, right? So that's what I'm seeing on the S&P 500. But also on the S&P 500, remember I said before about the basing pattern. The basing pattern is whenever the market just bases out, it doesn't do much. If we've got a strong flow, strong trend, and then we base out here for a while, traders, alert. Like, this is the reason why, guys, for the last probably week of videos, I've been screaming this to the mountaintops, because this is really setting up. Once it starts to break out of this, the box, tell you what, box will turn into a slingshot pattern in the markets from there. And then also what's happening with the Russell. Check this out with the Russell here. Look what's happening with the Russell. So the Russell was doing nothing, but now we had a low and we're starting to develop a high low. What does that mean? So for all this time, we saw this here. Look at this here. So really being very volatile, right, with the Russell. But what's happening right now? What is an upward trend? An upward trend is what? Low, higher low, higher low. No, John, tell me something new. Okay, cool. Well, let's actually utilize that right now. Low, and we're developing a higher low. So the buyers are actually telling us we're starting to step back in. Make sense? So again, for a while here, I was in the Russell and I got out. I made 85% return on my trade. And then now I've been out of the Russell and been waiting for this. But we've just been sort of no man's land, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen here? But now we're starting to get the market starting to say, okay, the buyers are coming back into control from here in this market from here. Let's go look at actual gold and also silver. This is silver. Silver is actually still right at this level of resistance. So we did get a breakup. We may get a bit of a pause here, but I believe, guys, once again, let's go back to my weekly charts. Flow is not strong. When I talk about flow, the flow was strong through here. Hence the reason why when we did get this drop, the flow pushed it back up. Now the flow, which is the moving average, now the flow is sort of just slightly up. See how it's more flat through there? But if I'm looking at trend analysis, that's a low, that's a low, that's a higher low. So the trend of this is making still higher lows. So the overall trend is still up on silver, right? The flow is not quite there, but we're starting to get there. This is the reason why I've been putting out some bullish videos in the last week saying, oh, we could start to pick back up again soon, and that's exactly what started to happen. So that's what's happening there with that there. And then also gold. Gold is one of the danger territories that we see here. And the reason why is because whenever, like, nothing just goes straight up, right? We know that. So if we know that, even back here, even when we had some really nice moves through here, through there, right? Inevitably what happens, we end up going through these periods. So that we're probably going to go through one of those periods when it comes to the gold market. Let's go look at the actual mining sector as well too. Mining sector, very strong move to the upside. The buyers are coming really strong back to the upside, and they've come back up through here. So what's probably going to happen out of the mining sector is we're not going to go straight up. We're probably just going to come back down to here. And actually, you know what? Let me bring on the one with my moving average here, right? So what we're probably going to do is this moving average, we're going to probably wait for this moving average to come back up. We're probably then going to maybe come back down and do another one of these patterns here, right? The flow, which is, you know, strong up, maybe a bit of a pullback, and then we're probably going to get ready to go again as well too. And this is the same for the GDX as well to GDXJ. Very strong bounce, very strong bounce out of the markets, and looking really good. Even the silver mining sector is starting to really kick back in as well too. On the short-term level though, on the silver mining sector, we still see here that we have this overall sort of downward trending. So we really need the silver mining sector to start to really push back to the upside. And then also the SILJ as well too. So there we go, traders. Hope this really helps you out. Traders, if you do need some help with your trading, I've got a few spots left open for my coaching program. If you go to getjohnshelp.com, that's getjohnshelp.com, getjohnshelp.com. There you can actually click on that as an actual application to my coaching program. So if you do need some help this year, guys, make sure you click on that or go over to getjohnshelp.com and fill out the application, and I'll personally call you to see if you're a good fit.